Dividing by powers of 10. Remember, a digit in one place is 1/10 the value of the place to its left. What that means is that in the number 450, the 5 is in the tens place, and the 4 is in the hundreds place. So it represents 4 times 100, and the 5 represents 5 times 10. Well, 10 is 1/10 of 100. That's what this first sentence is explaining. Because this occurs, it is easy to divide a whole number by a power of 10. Simply take off as many zeros that appear in the power of 10. For example, if we had 42,000 divided by 10, the answer would be 4,200, because we would take off 1 zero to show that it is 1/10 of the value. If you had 42,000 divided by 100, the answer would be 420, because we would take off 2 zeros to show that 420 is 1/100th of the value of the dividend, 42,000. If you had 42,000 divided by 1,000, the answer or quotient would be 42. You would take off 3 zeros to show that it is 1/1000th of the value. If you have memorized the basic division facts, you can solve these types of problems mentally by using a pattern when dividing by powers of 10. So 60 divided by 10 is 6, because each of these numbers has 1 zero, and we can cross off the corresponding zeros and be left with 6 divided by 1, which is 6. So the steps are to cross out the same number of zeros in the dividend as in the divisor. This divisor of 10 had 1 zero, so I cancel out the 1 zero in the divisor with 1 zero of the dividend. And then complete the remaining division fact. 6 divided by 1 is 6. Let's try using these steps to solve these examples. In our first one, we have 700 divided by 10. First thing that we have to do is to cross out the same number of zeros that appear in both the divisor and dividend. So the divisor has only 1 zero. So we're going to cross out 1 zero in the dividend to correspond to this one. And then we're going to continue to solve the division problem. What is 70 divided by 1? It's 70. So that's going to be equivalent to the quotient of 700 divided by 10. Let's do another example. 8,000 divided by 10. First step, cross out the same number of zeros in the dividend as there are in the divisor. So the divisor has 1 zero, so we can cross out 1 zero in the dividend, leaving us with 800 divided by 1. 800 divided by 1 is 800, and that's equivalent to what 8,000 divided by 10 is. Now let's try this third one. We have 9,000 divided by 100. First, cross out the number of zeros in the dividend as there are in the divisor. Well, there are 2 zeros in this divisor, so I can cross out 2 zeros in the dividend. So now we have 90 divided by 1, which is 90. Therefore, 9,000 divided by 100 will also be 90. And on this slide, it shows the same solutions that we found when we worked out these problems together. 700 divided by 10 is 70, and it shows out the crossing off of the corresponding zeros. Similarly, 8,000 divided by 10 is indeed 800, and 9,000 divided by 100 is indeed 90. The same pattern can be used to solve other division problems. Let's try this one, 120 divided by 30. First step, cross out the same number of zeros that are contained in both the dividend and divisor. So the divisor has 1 0, so we're going to cross out the 1 0 in the dividend. Now we have 12 divided by 3, which is 4. In our next problem, we're going to do the same steps. Determine the number of zeros in the divisor, there are 2, and identify where the same 2 zeros are in the dividend and cancel them out. First one goes with this, second one goes with this one, and now we have 14 divided by 7 remaining, which is 2. So 1,400 divided by 700 is also 2. Now let's try this last one. 44,600 divided by 200. First step, see the number of zeros there are in the divisor, and that's 2. And there are also 2 in the dividend, so let's cross them both out. So now we have 446 divided by 2, which is 223, because 2 divides into 4 2 times evenly. 2 divides into 4 again 2 times evenly. And 2 divided into 6 is 3 times, or 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our final answer here is 223. And on this slide, it shows all of the solutions that we have. 120 divided by 30 does indeed equal 4. 1,400 divided by 700 is indeed 2. And 44,600 divided by 200 is indeed 223.